I explained why I didn't hang out with him, right? Because it's a little fluffy stuff going on.
It's not your scene.
It's not my style.
Not your scene.
They hug you from the front and the back at the same time.
It's not your thing.
It's not my thing, bro. No,
you're not. So you felt like he was trying to dim your light early in your career.
It wasn't that. It was really just I got uncomfortable with him because the way he was acting to try and get me to hang out with him was like, "Yo, I'll take you shopping." Like, and I'm like, "What you mean?" Like, that's something you say to a woman you're attracted to, maybe.
Right.
Just what I'm
saying. So you felt like he was trying to play you like you didn't have your own money, you didn't have your own shit.
It was weird because I'm not only do I not go shopping like that, but he knew me, so was giving my.
50 Cent is back in the headlines, this time with claims that didn't make it into his Netflix documentary on Diddy. He revealed that the limited 4-episode run forced his team to cut some of the most explosive material. Among the stories left out, 50 alleges that Diddy secretly fathered a child with a woman who had previously dated Tupac Shakur. Rather than saving this footage for a potential second season, 50 Cent is now hinting that he might release the unreleased content directly on YouTube. Since the documentary's release, even more people have stepped forward with new insights, raising questions about why 50 is targeting Diddy so intensely.
It's a lot of variables to this particular question, because I talk to a lot of people, older, younger, even my daughter, who's 22, she didn't understand it. So people give their opinion based on what they've experienced and their environment, people they've been around. So to the people that understand boundaries and respect, I always tell men you should never date another man's girl if you're not.
TK Kirkland emphasized that actions like that reflect a blatant lack of respect. He explained that in his entire life, he has never knowingly pursued a woman who had previously been involved with one of his friends. Some boundaries, he says, are simply not meant to be crossed at. TK went on to highlight that Diddy isn't short on options. With his fame, wealth, and global connections, he could be with anyone. That's why TK believes Diddy's alleged involvement with the mother of 50 Cent's child wasn't a random choice. In his view, it was deliberate, especially given the years of tension between Diddy and 50 Cent. According to TK, this move only poured more gasoline on a rivalry that had already been simmering for years.
Baby mother of one of his rivals.
Exactly.
Someone who had been taking shots at him for years.
Absolutely.
On purpose.
And he went after her knowing that they had beef.
Right. And slutted her out. Just slutted her out. Having a whole basketball team run a train on her.
Totally
and
did. I
just
totally
the whole
agree.
thing, right?
Totally agree.
Right.
But his reputation from when he worked at Uptown, I'll be sure's girlfriend.
Oh, Kim Porter.
Kim Porter.
Right.
That's his reputation.
I'll be sure's baby mother.
Baby mama.
Yeah.
Then Eric Serum, his friend, the one that had she had his baby, Mia. So he's had a reputation of going after people.
Tupac's ex-girlfriend. He got a baby with her too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my point that I'm making to the men listening, well, if you don't understand this, then you're just poorly educated and don't really have common sense. It's a no. There's no way I would go after Vlad's ex-girlfriend.
Right.
I'm so loyal that if I met a woman and she said, "Oh yeah, I stay Vlad," I can't f with you, baby.
Right.
I won't even put excuse my language, because that's how I move. Other people don't move like that, but you see me in Paris, you see me all over the world. Why would I want to do that to mess up?
While 50 Cent's documentary has been attracting widespread attention and praise, it hasn't been without controversy. Gene Deal has come forward with serious claims, alleging that some segments of the series weren't entirely original and that his ideas were used without proper acknowledgement.
A lot of footage had to be down. The documentary had to be downsized. You understand? I don't really believe that, because a documentary is a documentary, and they could have had 45 minutes. They could have had an hour, to each one of those. You understand? They left out certain things. He said they even left out the one about Sarah Chapman. You understand? And for whatever reason, he probably left out a lot of other different stars too. Situations that they could have spoke about. You understand? I have a problem with the documentary, and I'm just going to let you know that the reason I have a problem with the documentary is that they know that they took my idea. You understand? They know that when I came to them, I laid out what they should do and how the documentary should be. You understand? She could say whatever she want to say. I talked to those producers before I even talked to her. They wanted to know what I had, what I was bringing, my pictures, all that stuff like that. And I told them about me, Tim, and Kirk. You understand what I'm saying? And how it would go. They did the same thing. This ain't the first time they stole from me, man. You know, if you look at the Notorious Big, if you watch the Notorious Big, that part about the shoes, I had that in my book. And I was talking to K.O. Copeland. He was one of the writers of that movie. And I told him about when I let Big use my shoes at Soul Train Award. You had this old flunky ass dude, Mike B, get on Angie Martinez's show and talk about, yo, Big, he wore mixed max shoes and he went out there and performed. When you go look at the film, when you go look at Big performing that on that show, ain't nothing mixed match about them shoes. There was $800 Maury's, size 14D, Big World 14E. E means that his shoes is a little wider than mine. He struggled, but he put them on and he went out there and performed. Those was my Gators that he had on.
He also weighed in on the speculation that 50 Cent might release more unseen footage online. According to Gon, if additional content does surface, Diddy won't have the ability to block it. He added that if shutting down the original documentary had been possible, it would have happened already. In Gon's eyes, the situation sheds light on just how much influence Diddy still wields, or perhaps how much of it is faded behind the scenes.
And I heard he's going to put it on YouTube or do whatever he's going to do. Puff ain't going to have nothing to do with that. Puff ain't going to have nothing to do to try to stop that because he can't. Because if he could stop it, it would have been stopped. You know why he can't stop it? Because Puff know people right there at Netflix. Don't think he don't. And I don't know if this guy still work for them, but he was part of the flavor unit, Shakim. He was part of the flavor unit. He was good friends. He was cool with Puff and them. Flavor unit and them, Queen Latifah and them, they was cool with Puff. If Puff would have sent the cease and desist over there and they could do it and he had the power and they wasn't right, they would have been done it. You see, it's still rolling, right? It's still going on, right? He ain't got that power no more. You understand? Now, could he sue them because they used his likeness or used them and stuff like that? I don't know. I'm not that versed in they using him. You understand? If they can steal your whole damn idea, your whole damn ideal, why can't they steal your whole damn?
Gene also commented on what he called Diddy's long-standing and, in his words, unusual fixation on Tupac, a fascination he believes has shaped and guided many of Diddy's decisions over the years.
Kim Porter's friend, Sarah Chapman. Now, we all know that she used to date Tupac. You understand? So either he got her because he wanted some remnants of Tupac. We don't know. But it seemed like every dude that he had some kind of disdain, dislike, or that he idolized in a sense, he wanted their girl. Or he wanted to be a part of their girl. I don't know why. Yo, bro, this dude was, I don't know if he was in love or in hate for Tupac. He wanted to be an actor. He auditioned for Juice. But Pac beat him out for that Bishop thing. You understand what I'm saying? He wanted to be a part of that. Just go, and not so many years ago, when Puff started getting into that drugs and started using drug stuff, he started revamping some of Tupac's speeches. And if you think I'm lying, go look at the Grammy speech he did. Go look at a couple of speeches he did. It was the same exact words Tupac had said. That he was going to start this whole revolutionary of our people. That's Tupac. Black Lives Matter, the Black Liberation Movement, that was Pac. The Black Liberation Movement. Black Lives Matter? Come on, bro. This dude, everybody know that he had some kind of...
Yet, the documentary leaves out some key parts of Diddy's story. One detail that caught many viewers' attention was the minimal focus on Kim Porter, Diddy's longtime partner and mother of his children. Her life and role in his story were largely overlooked. Kim tragically passed away in 2018 at just 47, with pneumonia listed as the official cause of death. Despite that, questions and speculation about the circumstances of her passing have persisted, with some even pointing fingers at Diddy. For years, Kim had been a constant presence in his life, witnessing much of it.
Because of all the videotapes, because of the book, because of all the people she gave copies of her book to, or at least chapters, because of everything that she had on him, because of the tape that she used to blackmail him into a relationship and into a raise of him being sodomized by Andre Harrell. And I am not saying that allegedly, because I heard her and Kim Noor talking about it in the booth of the bathroom.
Was about to come out. And she was talking about all the perils, everything that she went through in the music business and with Diddy. All the men that they slept with together, because there were men that they slept with together. There were swinging times that they slept with together. I don't know, man. How do you put your girl through some shit like that? Or how do you look at your girl and knowing that she's another dude? What kind of demonic mind you have to be that far gone where that shit don't bother you? And got rid of them. They swimming with the fishes.
Wow, man. So she was about to expose all that in her book, them sleeping with men together.
She's going to expose everything. I heard it was tell all.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Just curious, right? Did you know that Diddy and Kim had that type of relationship back then in real time?
Yeah. Yep. Because I know somebody personally that lives in Atlanta that was swinging with them. And I would never mention his name because he's a good brother and he knows my family down there. You know, he knows my family down there. And I would never, put his name out there like that. He's been in the music business. He didn't put a lot of groups.
Kim Porter saw every side of Diddy's life, his personal relationships, his business moves, and the events that unfolded behind closed doors. Yet, despite her significance, the documentary gave her story barely any attention. Multiple sources suggest that her story was intentionally left out, possibly because it was seen as too sensitive or too controversial. Jean, who knew Kim personally and sometimes even looked out for her, believes she understood far more than most people ever realized.
It was a clear case. She came, hey, I was the one who was doing the wiretaping and all of this, right? The tapping. So I knew about this before she came out and said that she was the one that was doing it. I was sitting there like, damn, he know everything she doing. He know her conversation. I'm sitting there like when I'm sitting there right there next to him, when I'm hearing them saying, this is what Shakira Stewart was saying to Kim Porter on the phone that made him mad. That made him so mad at Shakira Stewart when he went to L.A. Reid party, hit him with the chair. You don't think if he hit a man with a chair for dating this girl, they're going to have a fight at home too. You know what I mean? That's why, they say, he busts her nose up on the boat. And have you ever been to Sandro Pay's see a brother play a mandolay? Remember that was in his song? I need a good woman next to me. So then it happened in Sandro Pay? Like that island. And then he
None of this made it into the documentary. Kim Porter appeared only in a handful of photos, briefly noted as the mother of Diddy's children, and then the story moved on. For someone so central to his life, the lack of coverage raised many questions. Former Bad Boy artist Mark Curry also shared a troubling account involving Kim and Diddy. According to Mark, Diddy allegedly monitored Kim's private conversations and would become enraged over anything he didn't like. Mark recounted a specific incident in which Diddy supposedly flew into a rage after discovering a phone call Kim had with music executive Shakir Stewart. He claims that the confrontation later escalated at a party, where Diddy allegedly attacked Shakir with a chair.
What are your thoughts on all the his celebrity friends that denounced those allegations and were like, "This is false," and they were saying, "Yeah, should they speak up now?"
It's getting a little too late for those who are complicit. Stevie J should be charged. Mary J. Blige should also be charged. Jennifer Lopez should definitely be charged. Jay-Z should be charged. Khaled should be charged. Rick Ross should be charged. Usher should be charged and tried with him. All of those strangers, them up involved, looking around, seeing what was going on. And let's just be clear, it sounds like her house was a house of, professional freak-offs. So who knows what he saw or what could have happened to him while she was busy entertaining people and pouring and getting tips, as she would say, for her after-hour life.
Oh yeah. He was. I'm gonna say he was surprised to hear that.
School bus driver. No, was he surprised or was he like, "Zip it, you talking too much"? Because that's what it looked like to me. It looked like you talking a little bit too much. They don't need to know about that. While she was sitting up there, because I was a bus driver and I was this and I worked at the after hours.
This behavior, it seems, was just part of who Diddy was. Another aspect that drew attention was the documentary's treatment of his legendary parties. For decades, these events were rumored to attract top figures from every corner of the industry. Celebrities, athletes, and powerful insiders were said to be regulars. The series barely addressed any of it. No big names were mentioned, and there were no detailed accounts of what actually happened. The omission is especially striking given how publicly connected Diddy had been over the years, and how unusually quiet many of those high-profile figures have become.
In Diddy's own words, he had said he had a sigh of relief learning that he was the son of a hustler or a gangster. Like he wanted that status. He wanted to say that he was a sigh of relief is a wild thing to say. That your daddy was a gangster or a hustler. That's what you heard that he was.
Well, I mean, like Tim said, they had a bunch of blaxploitation movies being played around the house all the time. They grew up with the Mac playing. They grew up with Superfly playing. Like, I mean, if that's what you got going on, you got two women in the house and there's no men around, and these are what the little boys are watching. You got basketball players coming over late at night. You got hustlers coming over, PIMPs coming over, women who look like they were modeling for Jet Magazine coming over. Like, it sounds like the nature of the environment is what shaped their perception of what cool was. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure for him it was, oh, man, that's who my dad was. So I'm sure for him, it made him feel good because all of that stuff that he was watching, he really came from that. That was really his legacy. And yeah, I'm sure for him, it felt good to know that his dad was this big hustler who turned out to be a snitch.
Jaguar Wright has suggested that too much attention is placed on Diddy's music career, while not enough is given to the experiences that may have shaped him long before fame. In her view, the real story of who he became starts much closer to home. She has spoken about what Diddy might have witnessed as a child, with his mother often preoccupied and strangers frequently coming and going from their home. According to Jaguar, Growing up in that kind of environment can leave a deep and lasting impression on a young mind. She believes that these early experiences may have profoundly affected Diddy, shaping the person he would later become, long before the music industry ever entered his life. Jaguar also noted that Diddy has spoken about feeling a sense of pride upon discovering that his father had a reputation as a hustler. She believes that reaction alone reveals a great deal about his early mindset and the values he may have absorbed during his formative years.
Somebody asked a question, what kind of man puts his hands on his mother? The same kind of man that parties with his mom. The same kind of man who kisses his mom in the mouth. The same kind of man who seems to have accurate knowledge that his elderly mother can put both of her hands, her palms, on the floor while she's standing up, bent over.
Oh, damn, I ain't seen that one.
You never seen the Instagram video where he was talking about how his mom was still young and spry and how she still liked the party and how they was getting a IV drip?
Oh.
And she was kissing him in the mouth on the video when he was like, yeah, my mom can bend over and touch the floor with her palms.
The freak offs that his son is there. Like, it seems like he likes to get down with his kids.
Yeah. But that wasn't all. Just to hear Little Rod say, like, the boys were around. Roger Bonds talked about the children as well. What kind of parenting relationship is that? But then again, that goes back to the conversation of Lori Harvey, Steve Harvey's daughter. It was all known that she was spotted in them streets with Justin, and then she was spotted in them streets with Diddy, and they all tried to sit there and pretend like that wasn't what it was. Like, I don't know if anybody has not noticed, but ever since Diddy got pinched, they've all been trying to pretend like all of the stuff that we've seen that happened, that they was all involved and didn't happen. If Lori Harvey was hanging out, and it's kind of weird, like the whole relationship with Justin looks weird. He looks like Mini-Me with Dr. Evil.